Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's been difficult to post in the last 6 months because of reasons, including but not limited to going to Scotland, moving to Scotland, and no longer moving to Scotland. So yeah, apologies for that. I haven't gotten much done in that time because of reasons, but I did get a new camera, and this is actually the first video I'm recording with it after 6 months of having it. Anyway, onto the sort of quick showcase here of just a couple things I'm working on. First is a tiny little quad with a 3D printed frame and 1103 motors. It's using 6 bladed props. They're 2.5 inches. And the goal, the electronics aren't on there. I haven't soldered it, but they're ready to go, is to have a tiny fully autonomous quad that's capable of like full GPS missions using the PX4 stack. And all the electronics are tested, they're ready to go. They just need to be put under the vehicle. And the actual frame is something like less than 20 grams. It's ridiculously light. It's a bit flexible, but once I put electronics on there, it'll stiffen up a bit. Nothing much to show there, it's just putting stuff together. And again, I'll have a video on this in the future at some point. This is just an update. The arguably more exciting one is this 3D printed Hex. This is loosely based off a vehicle I was working on over a year ago at my job. It had a similar design to this, albeit for very different reasons than why this one is printed that way. And yeah, I just thought it was cool, and I thought I'd sort of try it my own. So the frame is 3D printed, and then there will be carbon fiber legs and 3D printed feet. The current frame as it stands is about 300 grams. I could knock that down to 200 and get it a little smaller as well. That would be great. And then it's designed to use 533 props, so 5-inch diameter, 3 blades with a 3-inch pitch. Like, that's just kind of what I got, and it uses 2306 motors. So it's kind of heavy for what it is, or for what it's trying to lift, but it's definitely manageable. I know it is. I've done it personally. And then right now it's sort of screwed together, but a lot of these parts warped and all that, and the screw joints weren't, or the parts for the screws weren't catted out right. I thought I updated them, but I didn't. Haha. So it's pretty loose. Some of the screws are kind of coming out. It needs a lot of updates. It needs some ways to key the parts together. Because while the individual pieces are actually fairly strong, you can see here just at the joints, some of them are not happy. And that's going to be the failure point. I'm still working on the design, but eventually sort of pods will drop into the top where you have your electronics. And I'll probably just have bullet connectors for motors. There's not really a need to, or a reason to swap out the electronics, but it's just the way that I designed it. That's how they're going to go in. Yeah. Not much else to say past that, other than these files will be up on Patreon. This in itself could fly. It's not very optimal, and I'll be continuing to work on it and working towards a rather different but architecturally similar design. So the electronics pod, and then the feet as well will be up on Patreon. And as I get those designs updated and whatnot, I'll add the new versions as well. So you're more than welcome to join that. Same with the tiny little quad there. They will be on Patreon. So just some small updates, and hopefully I will be back sooner than 6 months next time.